at my outfit. Is matching
You're very Halloween-y.
it's matching. Yeah, I'm doing so well. I didn't even plan to do that. Look at that. Hey everybody, look at me. I'm matching our decor. And by the way, you did such an awesome job on the decor. She has gone all out. I know for some of you have seen, she posted a video of basically just a little roundabout of our downstairs.
Yeah, but you know what has happened since then is that all the things that have batteries in them, all the batteries have died. So now a lot of our lights are not lighting up.
Yeah, but you know what that means? It means you just gotta
replace them all.
replace the batteries. Just make sure that when you replace them, you put them in the battery divider. I was in the closet the other day and the package of batteries was just open. They weren't in the thing. If it wasn't you, who would do that? The children are going and getting their own batteries themselves. I don't know. I don't know about that. Does your house have the decor of Halloween? We love it here. I love it. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. You did a great job on it. And yes, that is ghosts and pumpkins on the back there of the cabinets. So we got it everywhere. We're excited about it, apparently. Overboard. Yeah, just a little bit. Speaking of overboard, many of you go overboard in your thoughts as to why you can't do something. And it can be really just as simple as starting with walking and the power of walking. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to pass it over to the walking expert, Danielle Bate.
So yeah, walking is beneficial in so many aspects of our life. So not even just our physical fitness, but also our mental wellness. So that's what we're kind of going to discuss today. Walking should not, I want to start with saying it should not replace, our exercise routine.
Scheduled, consistent workouts. They both play a role in their own benefit.
Especially strength training specifically.
Yeah. And the walking will only actually complement the workouts, and the workouts will only complement the walking that you start adding into your life. I have to stay in this spot. So I'm going to stay right there.
But that being said, if you are currently in no routine at all as far as exercise is concerned, walking is a great first step into getting into some
literally
sort of
and figuratively.
Yes. That was really good.
I have a great song I'd like to sing.
No, we're not going to sing the song.
I just made it up. It's one of your favorites out there.
So we're going to start with what walking helps to do. So walking will help bring down your stress levels. So that's one of the big benefits of walking.
Raise your hand if you have stress in your life. I know, I see
Who
you.
doesn't? Okay. So it helps bring down cortisol levels, which we all know is our stress hormone, and especially if we walk in nature. So not just, playing loud, blaring music in your ears and going on a high intensity brisk walk. That's not the type of walking we're talking about, but actually taking the time, no headphones in, walking maybe through the woods or, on a nice bike path and listening to the sounds of nature, not really walking so hard you're getting that heart rate up. Again, we're not talking high intensity exercise here, but just really being in nature and hearing the sounds and seeing the sights. And it does help bring down that stress level and bring up your mood.
It's actually something that I know I've been doing a lot more recently. We live near the Narragansett seawall, for those of you who don't know. And it's a nice spot to go do that. Just kind of take in all the beauty and really just more or less the vast. What I was noticing the other day when I was walking on it, just like how friggin' big the ocean is. And it's just a small portion right there, but even just how wide and vast it is. And just, it's amazing that we travel on it, and yet it's so large we have no clue like the depth.
Yeah, and I think that we kind of forget sometimes. And we also live in Charleston, we live in Rhode Island, and a lot of hiking trails and walking trails around. And something I've learned about recently is called forest bathing. So this is a Japanese method of bringing down.
Should I bring out my loofah?
No. So essentially you go and you bathe in the forest. So you go and you take in the sights and the sounds, and even if you sit down for a moment and listen to nature, and it's supposed to really help bring up the mood, increase happiness.
I got to ask you something. Stress. I want to ask you something.
You do not do it naked if that's what you're going to ask.
Oh, get out of here. No. How is forest bathing meant for you?
Oh, well, you mean me personally?
Yeah, I haven't seen you out in the forest very much recently.
So I don't really like bugs, and I don't really like the cold. It's getting a little cool out right now.
But this is such a great time of the year, I think, to actually go walking, being outside.
It's so funny. It's
not as hot as hell, you know what I mean?
And there's not as many mosquitoes, which is really nice too. We were actually going to go hiking this weekend, and then had to look up the whole hunting situation because we don't have any orange vest.
Well, I got plenty of orange clothes, so
we need to buy us and our family some orange.
You can see those lights behind us. We can just wrap those around one of the children.
So yes, walking in nature is absolutely awesome for your stress levels and to increase your mood and happiness. Walking is also really good for your joints and muscles. So it actually helps lubricate your joints, which is super important, especially as we age.
For all you tin women or tin men out there, and you need an oil can, this is a great way to go about it. And I think one note to mention, I know for people who aren't doing physical activity very often, this is that first start. Just get it going. How much you do, it doesn't matter. Just get yourself out.
Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes.
And for some people who have limitations within range of motion and things along those lines, I know you didn't want me to mention this, but it's still something very important. You need to be consistent with your stretching for if you're going to be doing increased steps. Your range of motion when you step can be affected if you have very, very tight hips. So it can play a huge role into the pressure that you put more on the ball of your foot, which can then lead to pressure on top of the joints of the knee. So we need to make sure that you're doing a lot of good hip stretches and things along those lines to stay loose if you're going to embark in added activity like this.
Yeah. So this, along with stretching, can help increase your range of motion, along with lubricate those joints and obviously keep those muscles nice and loose. So especially if you had a harder workout the day before and you're feeling sore, doing nothing that next day is not going to help you. Walking, stretching, absolutely.
I know so many of us think that it's so beneficial just to sit around and do nothing if you're sore or tired. It's the single worst thing.
And that's what you feel like you want to do, but it's actually not what your body needs.
And if you've noticed you've ever done it where you said, okay, man, I'm super sore, I'm super tight, or I'm tired. And then you actually get up and do something, you force yourself to kind of take that first step, how much better you feel afterwards. If you don't, and you kind of just lay around, use it as an excuse to be, when I say lazy, meaning not doing anything for that day physically. And there's a time and place for that, right? But you'll notice how much more prolonged it ends up being. So if you're saying, well, I'll just take the day and just kind of hang out and do nothing, chances are it's going to be there the next morning too.
If not worse. And essentially, once you start going, you're going to feel like you can keep going too. I know we read this quote together recently, and I think it was Emerson. I could be wrong, but do the thing and you'll get the energy to do the thing. So starting, and then you'll be able to continue going on. It kind of compounds off each other.
Another thing that it compounds here, the digestive system, right?
Yes. So it's great for your digestion. So it helps keep, your digestion flowing. It can help reduce bloat, especially if you walk after eating. Again, you're not going to eat a big meal and then just go for a very brisk, high intensity walk. That's not what we're talking about. But eating your dinner or your breakfast, letting it digest for 10 or 15 minutes, and then going for a nice leisurely walk to help, just get that digestive system moving along. Again, it can help move the gases through your system. That way you're not feeling bloated. It just helps it work at a higher pace.
But I don't have the time to do that. I got work to do. I got to listen to this. I got to go see a friend.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. So multitasking is great when you're walking. Okay. So you can, benefit from being with a friend or pet or family, which can also, in many cases, help bring down stress levels. Make sure you're with a friend, pet, or family member that helps, bring down those levels.
That's
does not increase it.
Right? You want to surround yourself with people that are going to enhance your ability to progress, not bring you back or take steps back, right?
Yeah.
So again, the walking, there's so many things you can be doing. You can be reading, you can be listening, you can be writing things down, you can be talking to someone, you can be like we said before, just taking it and using it as a means of a stress reducer. You could be reading, I guess you could. It is one of those things.
Yeah, reading if you're on a treadmill, obviously you're not going to read while walking down the road. Listening to a motivational podcast or a motivational audiobook or anything that you want to learn about. Also, what I was going to say, as far as like walking with a friend, for example, maybe getting out of the normal, hey, let's go out for a few drinks, let's go out for dinner. Like, hey, let's go take a walk. Yeah, let's go take a nice walk and then have a nice conversation that way. And,
Well, that way of living is so ingrained in our lifestyle as Americans that we forget, what those habits can lead to long term. And if it's happening multiple times a month, how that can affect us in a way that doesn't really aid us to the goals that we want. And if we take it and change it up a couple times a month, where you're now going for a walk with a friend instead of pounding back 3 martinis with a friend, then it may be a situation where you'll notice a huge difference, not only that next day, but at the same time, possibly by the end of the month. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things where if you just make that change a little bit, and it doesn't have to be every time, right? If you like your martinis and you want to have it, then more power to you. But at the same time, if you can reduce that 3 times a month, Can that make a huge difference? Hell yes, it can.
Yeah. So those are our benefits of walking, and just knowing that moving is beneficial. So, stagnant water in a puddle, for example, gets all filmy and gross, or in a pool that's not got the filter on, by the time it needs to be, opened back up. So that is just stagnant. When things just sit there, it's not good for them. So getting up and moving and getting that blood flowing, getting that oxygen in through your lungs and through your body is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
So go take a walk. It's a beautiful day for a walk today.
Yeah, that's really
in the Northeast anyway.
Quite nice. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to let us know. Or Coach Ryan and Danielle, we are out. All right. Me and my orange shirt. Peace out, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.